All right, now let's take a look at the latest business headlines. For help with that, we're going to bring in former NASDAQ and business reporter Krisha Lenzo, as well as accounting professor at Montclair State University, Dan Geltrude. Good morning to you both. Okay, those markets, they finished the week up, and this morning futures are mixed ahead of the opening bell. Okay, let's talk a little McDonald's. We don't really talk about them a whole lot. So they are actually temporarily closing U.S. offices through Wednesday to inform corporate employees of layoffs. Krisha, I'm going to start with you. What do investors need to know about this?
Well, it's really interesting that they told employees at McDonald's in the corporate offices to stay home Monday through Wednesday. They're trying to be very secretive about this move. They're doing this primarily because they want to increase their restructuring. They have a new program that deals with really being efficient, as a lot of companies are doing at this point, thanks to inflation. But the news is on the news, investors reacted well. McDonald's stock was up quite a bit. Its highest levels, $277.78 on Friday. So we'll be tracking it.
Well, Meta said, you know, it's the year of efficiency for them. So it's all about efficiency for these companies.
All about it.
So China, India, and Brazil have all began trading without the U.S. dollar. China is the second largest economy in the world. India is the fifth. Dan, to you, let's talk about the value of the dollar. Is it at risk?
Well, the dollar remains very strong, and let's keep in mind that over 60% dominance by U.S. currency in the world right now. Now, that's down 12% in about the last 20 years. So what does this really mean? Well, China is trying to dethrone us both economically and militarily. And one of the things that they want to do is to be able to weaken the dollar because they believe that that weakens us economically. So I think China and Russia, as well as some other countries, perhaps in the Middle East and South America, are going to look for ways to transact outside using the dollar. Now, do I think the U.S. dollar is going to be replaced overall? No, I don't think that's going to happen. But could it be further weakened? Yes. Is it under assault? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I know this is the topic on everyone's minds right now. It's a little worrisome, to say the least. Moving on. So GM will be phasing out the widely used Apple CarPlay in their new EVs, turning to Google instead to better track their drivers' habits. Krisha, what do you make of this switch?
So right now, every tech company is fighting for market share, not only in the tech space, but also on your dashboard. So here, Google is trying to really take hold of America's favorite company when it comes to cars, specifically EV now. GM is doing a lot with electric vehicles. Mary Barra said that's one of her top priorities. And in this case, when it comes to making additional revenues, they're going to have Spotify on this new program. They're also going to be having Audible. So Apple is out, Google is in, and we'll see how it goes. But it looks like they're going to be doing better with this new programming.
Interesting, because I know my card has Apple CarPlay, which I absolutely love having. It's so convenient. So we'll see how the Google one goes for GM. So Elon Musk announcing that Twitter's plan to start charging all news organizations $1,000 a month, plus an additional $50 a month to be verified. Multiple companies have said they will not even be paying for that blue check mark. A ton of news organizations. Dan, how do you feel about this? Do you think that organizations should have to pay?
Let's look at what's behind this, Alex. So there's 2 points here. First, you have Twitter trying to generate more revenues. There's no question about the fact that Elon Musk overpaid for Twitter, so he's got to make that up somehow. That's point one. But point two, the reason for the blue check mark is to be able to know that that is the real organization or person that is tweeting. So the question becomes, shouldn't there already be checks and balances against hackers and other people? So I'm not crazy about it, only from the standpoint of, and you've experienced this, you want to know that when you're doing something, it's really you and not someone else. Should you have to pay extra for that?
Personally, I don't think so. I think paying for it is a little much. And again, like I told Seth actually last week, I said linking my banking account information or any of my credit cards to my social media is definitely a big no for me after I got hacked. I do not feel comfortable doing that. And I was actually looking on Twitter. a ton of these news organizations had their blue check mark taken away. So it's a little worrisome now that, you're seeing all this stuff on Twitter. Is this the real person? Is it not? Are they going to pay for it? Are they not? It's just going to be very interesting to see how this develops. Keeping with cybersecurity, there's been a lot of talk about TikTok, obviously, and banning it here in the States. But one app actually has experts even more worried than TikTok, and that's Pinduoduo. And that's an app in China, 750 million users every single month. It's actually China's largest shopping app. They've got clothing, groceries, all kinds of that on there. Krisha, what do people need to know about this app? Because I had not previously even heard about it.
This is one of those apps that is just unbelievably scary. The fact that they have something called malware, which is malicious software, it could essentially track whatever you're doing. So whether your phone is on or off, it's running in the background, and it can look at all of your different apps and how you're using them. But what is actually even worse is that this company is listed on the NASDAQ under the PDD ticker. So we really have to take a good look and see what this company is all about. Google actually deplatformed Pinduoduo, and I think they're doing the right move here.
Yeah, I did see, that's right. So Google took it out of their Google Play Store. I mean, this phone can read your private messages. It can even change the settings in your phone without you even knowing. That's pretty terrifying. So if they can do that on that app, what can they do on any other app that they produce? Krisha Lenzo and Dan Geltrude, thank you both for coming on this morning. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.